Which documents did you have to translate when you presented your application?
Well, let me start with what doesn't need to be translated. I didn't need to translate records that were already in Italian. These records included my grandfather's and grandmother's birth records from Italy. I also did not need to translate my grandfather's naturalization records. And since I was applying for Italian citizenship through my mother, I did not need to translate my father's birth record. I also did not need to translate my husband's birth certificate. I was required to translate all other vital records in my direct bloodline from English to Italian. Initially, I needed 8 documents translated, which included my grandparents' marriage certificate, my mother's birth certificate, my parents' marriage certificate, my birth, previous marriage, divorce decree, current marriage certificate, and my son's birth record. When I had the majority of the documents ready, I sent them back to you for translation about 2 months before my appointment. The consulate website has a link to a list of translators, but you aren't required to use them. Also, the corrected documents had to be translated. Thank goodness you caught several errors which allowed me to get those corrections made before my appointment. So after my appointment at the consulate, I needed 4 more documents translated. Due to my son's fast approaching 18th birthday, we agreed it would be faster to use one of the local translators on the consulate list for the last few translations, but I had a disappointing experience with the local translator. And then after my consulate appointment experience, I knew the administrator was very meticulous when reviewing my application. So when I received the last few translations from the local translator, I decided to check them carefully before sending them to the consulate. And I was very disappointed to find a misspelling and several omissions on my own birth certificate. Then on my marriage certificate, there were 3 translation errors in 3 places that were marked illegibility that should have been translated. Plus, there was one entire section that was not translated. Additionally, I found 4 more translation errors on the remaining 2 documents. Then, after I received the corrected translation, I double-checked everything and found that the translator again failed to fix one of my previously requested corrections. I didn't have any of those issues with your far superior translations, Laura Lee. I was grateful for all the advice that came with the translations you gave, such as making sure I got the correct documents and what to expect with them.
It's important to keep in mind that each consulate varies in its process of handling applications from beginning to end. So it's important that you go to the website for the consulate in your jurisdiction and read the information very carefully before making your appointment.